Definitely one really nice thing about riding the trainer is even in the winter, even if it's freezing outside, you don't really have to get kitted up very much. You can just wear shorts and a short sleeve jersey and you're ready to go. So that's definitely a very positive thing. Likewise, the fact that you can get really warm or even hot riding the trainer is pretty awesome, because in the winter when you might not get any kind of heat stress and you might not be sweating nearly as much as you might in the summer, you can get a little bit of that heat stress and water loss that really benefits your performance if you're riding the trainer. And sometimes I would even think that riding the trainer could be more effective than riding on the road, just for that reason alone. So don't, be annoyed that you're sweating a lot on the trainer. That's normal, and it's part of what makes it a good cardiovascular workout, because your heart has to work harder to deliver blood to your muscles, but also to your skin to dump all of that fluid into the environment so you can sweat and lose heat while you're training. And for that reason, take into account that for any given power or intensity, your heart rate is going to be a little bit higher on the trainer than it would be on the road, unless you're comparing it to riding on the road in the summertime in very warm conditions, during which time your heart rate will also be elevated because of the added heat stress. So that's one reason why riding indoors in the trainer during the winter can be a great addition to anyone's training plan, whether or not they really have to, or just want to try to get in some short workouts here and there. But also for that reason, make sure you have a towel, because I don't know, I've only been out here for half an hour and probably just riding for 25 minutes or so, and I'm sweating a good bit already. So while you're riding the trainer, you should adjust your ways of measuring the intensity that you're riding at. So your perceived effort can be viewed as being largely consistent across different riding conditions, but you should always pay attention to that no matter what riding you're doing. But your heart rate and your power, if you have sensors that monitor those things, will be different. So like I said, heart rate will be a little bit higher on the trainer because you have to sweat a lot more than you would on the road. Because you're not able to use your whole body to rock your bike and use more muscle mass to generate power, your power numbers will be a little bit lower on the trainer. The more you ride the trainer, the less of a gap in power there will be between riding on the road and riding on the trainer. But for everyone, riding on the trainer is going to have less power than riding on the road. For people that don't ride the trainer a ton, they might expect to see at least somewhere around 10 to 12% less power for any kind of intense efforts that they're doing than they would see on the road. For people that train a lot on the trainer and have a very efficient pedal stroke, and it's easy for them to generate power, relatively speaking, they might only see like a 5 or 6% drop in power. But just off the bat, I would assume that if you're doing a threshold interval or a VO2 max interval or anything hard, you should expect to be doing it for a much shorter period of time than you would on the road, or to target a much lower power output. Because whether you're riding on the road or on the trainer, let's say your threshold is 300 watts. Doing 300 watts on the road, maybe you can do 15 or 20 minute intervals and it's fine. After a while it gets pretty hard, but it's very doable. On the trainer, you might struggle to get 8 or 10 minutes of riding in at that same power. So you could still do 300 watt intervals, but you might just shorten down to 5 minutes and have short breaks and then slowly build up to longer intervals. Or you might just plan on doing 10 or 15 minute intervals, but just target 270 or 275. If that turns out to be a little bit too easy, bump it up to 280. But I definitely wouldn't try to hop on the trainer and do even remotely the same power that you do out on the road. For me personally, I know that, if I go out to Mount Diablo and I'm in shape, I can do you know, a certain amount of power out on the road for 45, 50 minutes. If I try to do the same thing on the trainer, it's hard to do it for 10 minutes, and I really just have to adjust my expectations